I'd like to take a moment to welcome you all. This is really exciting to see such tremendous turnout. As I look at the program for yesterday and today, to see the tremendous talks that we're going to hear and people who are working in such incredibly important spaces. My role here at TMU, I'm a professor in biology and chemistry. I teach in ecosystem ecology. That's where most of my research is. But largely my role here is as a program director for the Environmental Applied Science and Management program at TMU. So as the program will attest, we face so many interconnected challenges here related to things such as public health, food security, or I should say food insecurity, governance issues and problems associated with governance, environmental degradation. And we understand, I think that the participants today really understand how fundamentally interconnected many of these issues are, how they're intertwined, how it leads to overlapping crises, including ecological degradation, climate change, persistence inequalities, and fragile food and public health systems. And what I think we can argue is that these are not isolated issues, but rather they're symptoms of systemic problems, of systemic dysfunction. And I'm recognizing also that we have an important role to play here within the graduate program and graduate education in turning out graduates who are positioned to be able to help and understand some of the complexity of these challenges and to help address some of these challenges. So we have a really awesome responsibility here to help students to work towards system thinking. As an indictment of academics or academia generally, we have a tendency to turn out specialists. Okay, and we need that specialized information. We need that specialized knowledge. But that expertise is essential, but it's not sufficient. We need leaders who really understand the complexity and who are able to do system thinking and to be able to understand the interconnections of some of the issues we face and understand the causes of chain of causality. I'd argue that graduate education, as we think about reforming our approach to education, especially in environmental spaces, there are four key needs, or four core needs. One is, again, system thinking. We need to really understand feedback loops. We need to understand how economic and ecological and social systems interact. We need to better understand how a decision that's made to address one problem may have an impact in other areas. I mean, we need to think about examples such as infrastructure and major infrastructure projects that might seem like a good idea to solve an ecological problem, but can create havoc in social systems and ecological systems. We need to be able to be better at understanding those unintended consequences. We need to be better at mapping stakeholders, so we need our graduates to be able to understand who's impacted, how they're impacted, to understand how to engage them, to bring them to the table. Okay, to be part of that conversation. We need to understand power dynamics, and we need to understand resource flows. A second core need beyond system thinking is better collaboration in areas of policy and politics and governance generally. So we need graduates who can navigate policy and understand the fundamental tools that are available and what the limits of those tools may be. We need to be better at engaging government and NGOs and private institutions. We need to be training students really at a core level, not just in principle how you would go about that, but actually as part of the curriculum, training students to do exactly that, to reach out and to interact with these folks. And we need to really understand that as we're learning about policy and as we're learning how to engage with folks that we're always keeping equity and sustainability at the center of decisions that are being made. And that takes us to the third major need, core need, which is environmental justice and equity. So no solution, so I come from an area of biology, and it's easy to look for applied ecological solutions. And to then, wonder, why isn't this solution taken up? Okay, this is a great solution. Why isn't it adopted? Well, for one thing, I was never really trained how to engage, okay, how to actually take something from science to policy. But also, we were never really trained in my time how to really think through the equity of the solutions. So solutions that may seem very good to solve a technical problem, if they reinforce or create inequities, then they're never going to be sustainable. We need to understand the historical and social roots of the environment and health, and we need to recognize who bears the burdens of decisions that are made. Okay? So, above all, we need to keep in mind that ethics, that what we're talking about is ethics, right? Decision making that is ethical, but efficacy. Solutions that are ethical, okay, are solutions that can have efficacy. We can't have solutions that have efficacy. See what I'm talking about the big brain just gone? That's what I'm talking about. So these solutions, again, in order to have any sort of take root and to have impact, they have to be ethically centered. And then finally, and this is one of the things that this program really kind of prides itself on, but which we need to really think through a little bit more, is transdisciplinarity. Okay, so education, graduate education, needs to be at its very foundation interdisciplinary. Education needs to be problem-based. It needs to be team-oriented. We're at a really exciting time in this program, because we're at a time when every 7 years the province mandates that we go through a periodic program review. This is a time when we actually get to reflect and think about what it is that we do, what we do well, and what we need to be doing differently. So I really welcome the opportunity to talk here today, because it's given me pause to reflect a little bit on what we do and where we need to go.